How's it going, Robo friends, family, everyone for tuning in? We're here doing another live interview. I appreciate you guys for coming and tuning in. This is about the fifth one we've done, but the second one we're doing actually on Facebook Live because we can save these and turn them into our YouTube channel. So today I have two pretty exciting guests. They're younger kids, they're high school kids, they're seniors about to graduate and go off to college, but they've been doing some amazing stuff in 3D printing. So I wanted to bring them on. They actually came down to the Robo 3D headquarters here and met us, and really cool kids, a lot of great ideas. And so without further ado, I am going to introduce them. Their names are Brandon and Cody. They go to high school in Fremont, California. So let's bring them in here. Let's talk to them about some of the cool stuff that they're doing in 3D printing. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hello. Good afternoon.
I'm messing with some of the settings here so we can get you guys on the big screen here. All right, cool. We're good. We're set to go. Brandon and Cody, what's up? Got the big Robo logo in the background. I love it.
Yeah.
The best thing about Brandon and Cody for everyone that's watching right now is when they came in and met us, they're like, we feel like we're a lot like you and Kobe because our names are Brandon and Cody, Braydon and Kobe. And so it's pretty interesting. So we all took a picture together. I don't even know if you have that picture still, but one day you guys are gonna be building some amazing stuff. I had a chance to talk to you guys, and obviously you have a ton of great ideas. And you use 3D printers. Right now, where are you? You're at school, actually.
We're at school in our printer lab, which is part of our maker space where we do a lot of like prototyping and designing. And this is a room full of 3D printers.
Cool. Okay, so we're just gonna dive straight into it. I like to keep these kind of short and sweet. We just get straight to what you guys are doing with 3D printing. So when did you guys do you remember the first time you heard about 3D printing?
So my first time is when the teacher who works here now, who runs this lab, she came to my junior high and she put an assembly in front of the whole school, and she said, "This is my maker bot. This is the thing that I spent my money on. Like, this is a cool thing." And she showed us what she could do with it. She made bracelets with it. And I remember looking at that and thinking, "Hey, that's pretty cool. But that doesn't look like what I want to do. Like, that looks lame. Like, I could do anything with that." And I kind of put it off to the side. And then my sophomore year, I came in and I looked around and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So I got right into it. I dove in and I learned everything that I could. And that's how I got started with it. Now I love it.
My freshman year, I came to this school to join a robotics club. There wasn't 3D printing involved. It was just like build robots for competitions. And then I ended up getting involved in this class and I learned about 3D printing. And we didn't have a lot of 3D printers in the class, but down in San Jose, there was a tech shop that I became a part of where I first was able to like get exposure to a 3D printer and be able to use it. And then sophomore year, I actually kind of designed and started working on my own printer.
Cool. Okay, so wait, I didn't even ask you guys, which one's Brandon, which one's Cody, so everyone knows.
Brandon.
I'm Cody.
All right, cool. Awesome. So you guys first learned about a similar scenario. You guys have been working together on projects, like collaborating. Have you guys been like best friends for a while? Did you guys learn about it sort of at the same time, or did you guys start collaborating after you guys started using them separately?
I met Cody. I knew Cody when I was really young, but then around like fourth grade, I just stopped hanging out with him until like sophomore year in high school. We ran into each other back in this makerspace, and then we've been working on projects since then.
Just clicked right together.
What was the first thing, if we go back, you guys learned about 3D printing, you're like, I want to dive into this. What was one of the first things that you guys actually made?
Yeah.
You actually have it here, don't you? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, of course. We keep all our stuff. So
nice. This
was a cool little thing I saw online, and I decided I want to try it. So these are Wolverine claws.
Okay.
So.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That's sweet.
Yeah.
What went into that? Like, tell me about that.
So it was mostly... it was like a starter thing for me. I was really learning, and so I grabbed the files from online. The biggest thing was learning how to, print files out. So get it set up, get going. He helped me out a lot about the orientation, taught me all about, overhangs and infill and all that good stuff. And then I got it printed, and a lot of machining of clearing out all the gunk from the printer, clearing out all the spaces to get these to move well. Yeah. And altogether, I feel like it took me probably about 3 months just to get this little thing going.
Oh, cool. And then what about you, Brandon?
For me, the first project that I was working on with Cody, I don't know if, like, we kind of struggled through this one, but basically on the market, there were some dual extrusion 3D printers, but there weren't a lot of them. And at the time, Robo's flagship printer, the R1, we actually had one, and we decided to dual extrusion convert it by changing out the carriage so it could have 2 extruders, and like we adapted it to be a different type of extrusion method from the conventional one. It was a big project. It was a huge undertaking, but overall we like learned a lot in the process, and now we understand how all these printers work a lot better.
Cool. I love it. How are you guys basically like running this 3D printing lab at your school?
We've been, like, last year we were super involved, and then senior year, I feel like we've both kind of taken a bit of a step back and kind of taught some of the younger kids how to do it, and then that way they're kind of filling the shoes of kind of running this makerspace. Because we'll be gone next year, and hopefully there'll be some other students that can step up.
Okay, so you guys, tell me about some of the other projects you guys are working on, because I know when I first met you guys, you had like 10 different ideas you kept going into, and I'm like, these are my kind of people, right? Idea guys are always working on stuff. You guys were really excited about some of them. Tell me about some of those projects.
You want to go skateboard?
Okay. One of the first things I did was I used the Xbox 360 Connect, the old 360, because when the Xbox One came out, the 360 Connect became obsolete and they were super inexpensive. You could buy one on Amazon and get a small adapter that connects it to your computer, and you could actually use that old technology to make 3D scans of people. And so I think in like 2015, we did a class portrait, but instead of being a picture, we actually 3D scanned everybody, and we printed out each person in class. So we have these prints of all the kids in class, this one being Cody, and that was one of a pretty cool project, because nobody really has thought about doing that. Like, this was when 3D printing was really new, and so using like the Robos and the other printers we had, we were able to print out everyone in our class by scanning them. You
guys made like a little Mount Rushmore of your class?
Yeah, we've like played around with different ideas and stuff, and right now, like basically up on the shelf in the 3D printer room, we just have all like the pioneers of the lab.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, do you find most of your content online, or are you guys designing? Are you guys creating your own from scratch? Where do you guys get the inspiration from?
So a lot of the stuff we do is based on what we see online. So we like to take a lot of ideas, and of course, we're not just trying to follow in other people's footsteps. I mean, we are trying to learn from them, but we're trying to do our own thing and to grow from that. Yeah. And so this last summer, I built my own 3D printer, and I used a lot of different designs that I saw. It was a Delta configuration, so it's 3 arms that move in the center. So I saw a lot. I did a lot of research, but then I completely designed it myself. Yeah. So I CAD'd each part in the computer, and then I printed it out. And then,
what program are you using to CAD?
Autodesk Inventor.
Okay, cool.
Free license for students.
Nice.
Great. So
you recommend that to people? Was it pretty easy for you going from not knowing anything to actually learning it?
Yeah. So one of the classes we have at Irvington is about learning how to use the CAD software.
Okay, cool.
The design process of building it, and so I became really good at it, and that really stepped my knowledge up. Building my own thing. Yeah. And so, I mean, I built each part myself, but it was definitely based off of other designs that I saw and pulled together.
Yeah, that's how we got started, man. We were building our own from scratch and trying to figure it out and learning the technology. And then we, obviously ventured off to try to start our own company, which we grow it now, but yeah.
For me, a lot of the design that I did was also, I think I learned how to use Tinkercad, which was like a very basic CAD software. And then after maybe, 2 months of using Tinkercad, I was shown Autodesk Inventor, and I was like, oh, this is way better in every way. So then some students from sophomore year, we actually designed this drone, and we 3D printed the arms. So these arms are 3D printed. This frame is actually just a block of wood. We could have 3D printed it, but it's like a laser cut frame and the 3D printed arms. And that's when we really started playing around with CADing new designs and just new things in general. Like, a lot of things that are printed in our lab are things like this, right? This is something you could find online. But then also, there's a lot of things that we've made that you can't necessarily find online that kids have designed. So there's a lot of, there's a lightsaber design here. It's not finished, but someone went into Inventor and designed this whole thing from scratch. They didn't know how to use Inventor until probably this year, and they learned how to use it in class. and learned how to design things like that.
Isn't it amazing? I talk about this a lot, how it's once like the kids start understanding that they can design their own stuff from scratch, their mind shift kind of changes when they start going out into the world and they realize, like, if I see a problem, I can fix it by designing my own thing and printing it and using it. Or if, like, I really want this, so I can just design it myself. And I think it's going to continue to evolve. Software is going to become easier. People are going to be making more stuff. And I don't know, I'm just excited to see kind of where it goes in that respect.
It's really cool to see a lot of these students that, like, they get into the class because it's an elective and it sounds cool, but then by the end of the year, they're able to, like, take an idea, completely mentally jot it down on paper, and then CAD it, and then by the end of the week have a physical representation of their idea that's only a week old. A lot of students don't have that ability, so we're really blessed to have this space where we can do that. And I think it's awesome because we're able to, like, share what we've learned with other students so that they can get those opportunities too.
You guys, someone in the comments said, true young pioneers, which I would agree with that, Nick. Thanks. I agree. I think you guys, like, kind of influencing some of the younger kids that are coming in, teaching them how to use the product is only going to benefit not only the school, but those kids in general when they start creating. So you showed some of the prints. So you guys are about to graduate. You're going to go off to college. What's sort of the next step? Are you guys still going to use 3D printers? What are you guys trying to do?
I have a printer at home. I plan on taking it with me.
Yeah.
It's a R1 from Robo. It's one of the first printer you guys ever put out, and I plan on taking it with me to college. I like it. I use it. At first it was a novelty. Like, I'd go on Thingiverse, download things, and print them out, little cool keychains and stuff. But now it has become pretty practical. Like, if I have an idea for something or I want to make something, I can sit down in front of Inventor or a different CAD software, design what I want, and then print it out. And it's kind of just become like an expectation. Like, if I don't have something, I can just make it. So if I didn't take that with me to college, I might be stuck in a situation where I'm like, oh, I broke something, let me just make a new one. Oh, wait, I don't have that luxury anymore. I feel like...
Yeah, where's the fun in going and buying something when you can design it and create it?
3D printing is something I want to do.
Yeah. Nice, cool. What about you, Brandon or Cody?
So, I feel like we've been really blessed. You can see all of our filaments up on the wall. That's not even all of them. We have so much filament, so much materials here that, like, moving to college with my one printer with, like, limited filament is going to be a big struggle.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, oh, man.
You guys have everything you need right now.
Yeah, it's like, but it's such a great industry to be in. Like, I wouldn't change anything.
It's going to be cool. You guys are going to be living in the dorms, hopefully, maybe. And you guys are going to have a 3D printer in your dorms. You guys are going to be like the cool kids on the floor that got the hottest tech. And who knows? Maybe we'll influence some other kids to start getting into it. So that's the exciting part about it. I want to take one step back. So you guys I see you have a couple R2s back there. You've had the R1s for a long time, which I think is how you first heard about. How did you first hear about us?
So I first heard about Robo 3D with the R1. There was a competition at the Bay Area Maker Faire, and I won the competition. And so I got a R1, the original. You
won the Google, like in the Google glasses?
In the Google glasses.
We did oh wow. That was old school. So for everyone that's listening, we did it was like a scavenger hunt on our Instagram page back in the day for Maker Faire because we weren't actually exhibiting there. And apparently it turned into like a fiasco, a bunch of people rushing to find the 3D printer.
There was a bunch of people who were after that thing, and I was able to it was weird because there were like riddles and stuff, but if you had like previous knowledge of previous years of Maker Faire, you could figure it out. And eventually, like, they had to basically dig to the bottom of a bucket of safety glasses, and that's where I found the printer. And I was like so happy that I found it because it was cool. I was like, oh my gosh, because I had a printer at school, and there was so much I could do with it at school, but to have one at home, it like gave me so much more freedom to work on the things that I wanted to and just like do like 3-day prints, which you really can't do at school.
Yep.
And so from then on, I was like, got really involved with like Robo as a company and felt like this is the kind of printer I want to use because it was like, it's open source enough that you can change the hardware and the software if you want. It's not locked down, but it also, you can just expect it to work. Like these machines behind us are super reliable for us. Kids design things and then they just print them out. I mean, we hardly ever have any problems. So I got into Robo freshman year and I've stuck with it since then.
Cool. Love that. And now are you guys going off your separate ways now, or are like the homies disengaging from each other? Or are you guys going to work on projects together?
Apply to the couple of the same ones. I mean, if we can go together, I mean, that'd be perfect.
Do you guys want to start a company together? What's the future for you two?
To learn right now. We're just focusing on education. We're just trying to get, better ourselves, better our communities from that. But then, I mean, past that, it's up in the air.
What else, you guys? Do you guys have anything else you guys are 3D printing or have 3D printed, like in terms of like some of your memories?
I mean, this is the first thing I ever 3D printed. It's just a USB card holder. It's super
okay.
But it sits on my desk, and I use it to this day to hold USB sticks and SD cards.
I actually have one of those on my desk too. That thing's great.
Yeah, it's great. We did a lot of like these. Some of these were our first prints. A lot of these Ninja Flex Pokemon.
Yeah.
But
nice.
It's cool to see like how far we've come with like this print being one of the first like dual extrusion prints we've ever done.
Nice.
To now we have like just a lot of complex things and kids designing things that like I wouldn't have expected to see freshman year, but to see we're like working on these amazing projects, and we're going to take them to Maker Faire and they get to show off their projects. It's really cool, like what 3D printing has allowed us to do.
Yeah, cool. So you guys, I think there's always this cycle when people get into 3D printing where like the natural thing to do is go on Thingiverse and find all the popular prints that people are doing, print those, and then you start developing kind of an interest to do some of your modeling yourselves. And then you start modeling and then you realize, wow, this isn't as difficult as I actually thought. And then when you start modeling things and printing them, then it just opens up like Pandora's box. And then you start like really making things that are useful. So it's cool to see you guys have gone through that cycle. And I know you guys are working on your own projects. You're working on maybe a business.
Yeah, for Cody, it was kind of funny because when he was working on his printer, he designed most of his pieces, like all the like brackets and everything. Most of it was like it's just like raw materials, and then things were just printed. So he would go through like revisions, but I was like, you could go online and find a kit or do something like that. But he decided to CAD everything himself. And
then you use the 3D printer to 3D print it.
3D print the 3D printer. So
some assembly required,
Yeah, but it's cool because using these printers, we're able to make the things we want to make.
Yeah, I agree. Cody, are you gonna start a 3D printer company? Are we gonna be competitors here?
No. It was more of a learning experience. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I had a great time, and I'm still fidgeting with it, trying to get this thing to. Oh man, bed leveling is the hardest thing.
What would you recommend? Like, I know sometimes people that watch these may just be curious on 3D printing. Like, what would you recommend to people that are maybe just getting into it or thinking about getting into it? What would you say?
I would say find a makerspace that you can get plugged into, because if you can find a community of people who are doing what you want to do, first of all, you won't have to make the mistakes. They've already made the mistakes and learned, so they can help you with that. And also, instead of investing on your own in a machine is really good, but also having a community of people to help you troubleshoot. And you don't necessarily have to be there physically. I mean, I joined an online community on the Robo 3D forum when I got my printer. And they helped me with just a lot of like, here's some easy mods you can do. Here's some stuff you can do it. Just community is the number one thing when it comes to 3D printing, I think.
And if anyone, thank you for mentioning our community forums, because there's lots of, I go on there and check it quite a bit, and there is a lot going on in it all the time. We have 13,500 members just in there. We've had like something around like 10,000 different discussions going on, like 80,000 messages. It's insane. So a lot of people like talking, when we started that, when we started the business on the Kickstarter. So a lot of people talking about 3D printing. So it's a great resource if you just want to go in there and talk to some people and like figure out what to do. It's community.robo3d.com. You guys have obviously been on it. There also is meetup.com. If anyone hasn't been on meetup.com, you can go on there and you can just type in 3D print at the top in your local area, and you can see if there's a 3D print club around there. I don't know if you guys are involved in any 3D printing clubs, are you?
I was at one point. There was like a meetup in San Jose, but once we got this space, there's like at our school now, there's a 3D printing club, and so there's kind of meetups here where kids just come and work on stuff.
Cool. And you guys have a lot of printers in there, yeah? How many printers do you guys have total? About 8?
I'll give you a count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in total with the upstairs.
13 different printers. I love it. So you guys have a bunch of people coming in there using it. Is there anything that stood out in terms of like one of the students that's coming in there using it for a specific project that you're excited to see?
I'm excited to see Cody's project of an electric skateboard when he gets that.
Wow, okay. Let's talk about that real quick before we head out of here.
So the printing is more for prototyping.
Yeah.
So I'm CADing the design myself, and I'm working on the design, and then I print it out, and then I check how it fits. So I check the fit, I test fit it around, and then I make some revisions. And then when I get to a final revision, I'm gonna put it in the CNC cutters and cut it in aluminum.
Cool. And then what's the plan for that? Is this just like a personal project? Are you wanting to start a company around it?
I try to learn with every project I do. So this project is really getting me into like Bluetooth communication or some kind of wireless communication.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's really what I'm focusing on learning right now. And then just getting the motor to run and move and drive would be fun. Awesome.
I love it.
And my big current 3D printing adventure is using the Palette Plus with the R2.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
It's not easy, obviously, because it was never supposed to be easy. But when you get it working, it's amazing to be able to print with 4 filaments so cleanly. It's good. It's a good, fun thing, like that Stormtrooper you've got behind you.
Yeah, this one right here.
Those are accomplishments.
Obviously, got to showcase this. We actually made this on the palette too, so this is a really cool piece.
That is amazing to be one single 3D print.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know about it, if you guys are just watching this and trying to figure out what he's talking about with the Palette Plus, Mosaic Manufacturing, we're working with them, and they have this device that is basically a box that sits next to your 3D printer. I thought I had one around here. And you can basically load in 4 different filaments, whether they're different colors or different materials. They have their own software. You can go in and you can manipulate it so you can print in multiple colors. It does take a little bit to set up, but you're right. Once you set it up and get it going, it's fairly easy once you get that process, and it works phenomenally well. Yeah. So we've been using it to print all sorts of stuff. The unit's like $7.99, something around there that we sell it on our site. So check that out if you want. If you go to the top and just hit one of the tabs, you can see it'll take you to a page. It'll show you some of the stuff for Palette. So yeah, it's a cool device. Anything else you guys want to say? Any shout outs? 3D printing in the future, where you think it's going to go? What's your favorite material you use?
A shout out to Mike Kelly on the forum.
Mike Kelly, all right. Yeah, Mike Kelly's the man. And with that being said, we have quite a few people on the forums that are phenomenal. So we do appreciate all those guys that go on there. They're always, answering questions, helping people out, and it's obviously makes our lives a little bit easier when we have a lot going on with the business. So yeah, Mike Kelly, shout out to you as well, because I know you do a lot of work on there. So thank you so much. What's your guys' favorite material that you guys use?
It's so diverse. So for basic prints, I use PLA because it's easy.
PLA,
but there's a lot of things you can do with like Ninja Flex, and also like some of the translucent filaments are really cool to play with.
Yeah, I love my Ninja Flex head because I can just snap his neck.
Nice.
So that's my favorite.
That. Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm going to stay tuned with you guys always, because I know you guys are working on some cool projects and you guys are getting off to go to college. What are you guys studying in college? What do you want to study?
Mechanical or electrical engineering.
Cool. So I know you guys have a bright future ahead of you. I can tell just by talking to you guys.
Thank you.
So stay in touch with us. Thank you guys for promoting our product, our brand. Thank you for inspiring other people, especially the kids at your school. It's amazing that they can come in there and have you as a resource, going through everything you've gone through to actually learn about 3D printing, so they can kind of have a quick segue into the technology. So thank you guys so much for coming on. If you guys have any questions, you can just add them. Anyone that's watching this or going to watch this later, because we only have like usually around 20 people that come on, and then a bunch of people watch it after the fact. So just go ahead and type questions below, and then I'll reach out to Brandon and Cody and ask them the questions, and I'll respond to you guys. So we'll work through that. All right. But thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one. All right, later.
Bye.